It's hard for any new company to break into an established market, but there's not many harder nuts to crack in the consumer electronics market. Rachel's been to see a company which, in a short time, has managed to crack that nut.
Intempo was founded in 2002 by Bernadette Spofforth. Her plan was to make technical products that were easy to use and easy on the eye, and to establish the company by entering a market that was in short supply. So in 2003, Intempo launched their DAB radio.
If you're entering the market with, you're trying to enter the consumer electronic or any market, it's easy to think you're going to succeed with a brand new type of product. But in actual fact, that's really hard for a buyer to get his head around. It's really hard for the high street to range that product because you have to educate your public. And normally you don't have the marketing budget to do that. So I would always recommend people try to enter the market on a short supply. You know there aren't enough products of that nature in the market, so you know that the buyers are going to be more receptive to your product.
Once the brand was established, the company began to look at more saturated areas of the audio market, bringing out mini speaker sets, alarm clocks and boom boxes.
Intempo has been very reactive to market requirements and will continue to be so because it gives us an edge. For example, when Apple announced their new iPod Nano in black, we called the factory immediately. Within a couple of hours they produced a sample for us, and within 2 weeks we were able to deliver black iPod Nano speakers to all of the high street in time for Christmas.
This Christmas you launched a radio with a transferable cover that people could put their own photographs on, and you hoped it would be a big seller, but it wasn't as successful as you'd wanted. What were the problems?
I think it's a combination of many factors. It's a complicated product to sell because it has flat speakers, and its unique feature is that you can have one of your own photographs printed onto the front screen. That's a very difficult message to get across on the packaging. It's a very difficult sell for a salesperson in a shop because they don't understand it. So the unit sales for the previous Christmas weren't as high as we expected. On the flip side, corporate companies have loved it. They can put their own logo on the front of the radio, give it away as gifts. It works very well in incentives. We were invited by MTV to offer that radio in their gift boxes for their MTV Awards, and they absolutely loved it and came back for lots more to give to all their VIPs and their executives. We were very pleased with that, and we had a phone call from the X Factor for the same thing. So they had the radio as giveaways and had it all over the X Factor house. So for profile and for brand recognition, fantastic.
Learning from those problems, what would you do differently in the future? What lessons will you take from that?
The lessons I would take from that are, don't deviate from what your brand says it is. And our brand is simple, easy to use technology that looks great. And the pop-it, our messaging on the packaging was too complicated. And I think you have to go out there with a very solid message, not too much information, because people can't take it in and they don't want to take it in.
With that lesson in mind, Intempo have been redesigning their packaging. Katie Richards is their marketing manager.
To us, packaging is really important. It's one of the first things that I looked at when I joined the company. It's obviously the first thing that you see when you walk into the shop, and it is what sells the product to us. The packaging in Intempo has evolved hugely. We realised that our market was becoming a lot younger. You know, we do consider ourselves quite an edgy, high fashion brand, and the packaging needs to reflect that. The packaging's moved on. We do consider people a really important part of the packaging, so we did want sort of people to be the main focus rather than product description.
The new designs are expected to launch this spring.
I would always recommend to somebody that if they're developing a brand, make sure people understand what those brand values are. Make sure you have warranty in place and service in place. Make sure you're able to take back your returns from your customers and provide them with product that they can sell. And sometimes new technology is very hard to sell.
But not, it seems, for Intempo. This year the company plans to more than double their range of products, with at least 12 more set to launch, including an internet radio. Bernadette believes a strong and simple brand has been key to their success.